Jagmeet Singh, leader of the New Democratic Party of Canada, professional race baiter, and Sikh man, came out in support of a London, Ontario family who was ran over by some fucking nutjob, but it's apparently all white supremacy up here now, and something about hatred, and there's no room for hate. And I don't know why, and it's because these people, when I'm talking about these people, I'm not talking about Muslims, not talking about Sikhs, I'm talking about weird leftists that are up here, specifically in Canada, that just think that they can push out, you're brown, right, Jagmeet? You kind of look vaguely Arabic, so you can go out there and speak for all of those populations about how hurt and oppressed you are. Yeah. On Monday, NDP Leader Jagmeet Singh spoke out on the Sunday night killing of a Muslim family out on a walk in London, Ontario. This entire story requires another video describing it as well, but I couldn't be asked right now. I got a whole bunch of stuff planned for it, and potentially we'll get to it tomorrow because the riots and everything that are going on after it, or the peaceful protesting that's going on, which harkens back to what was happening this time last year with tearing down statues, is still going on. So I want to kind of wrap all of it up because it's a story that at the center of it, the unrest in Canada, I don't really care about because it's all perpetrated on virtue signaling and just dumb shit. This is another one of those things where I can remember, just because I'm a fun guy, I like to listen to shit that's like super old, like 20-ish years old radio broadcasts that make me laugh back when comedy could still be comedy. And one of my favorite comedians, Patrice O'Neill, on one of my favorite radio shows, probably my favorite radio show, Opie and Anthony, he would say, whenever a black man does something, all the black community has to accept them as their own, and the entire community gets blamed for it. I didn't think that was the case then, mostly because you can just look at an individual and go, that motherfucker's crazy, but guess what you got now? Oh, okay, some crazy motherfucker does something, and guess what? It's all Hoyt's fault. Even though I haven't seen any pictures of this kid, and I haven't been able to verify it, his last name does kind of sound vaguely native, but I'm not entirely sure, so I don't want to cast any aspersions, but the fact that it's very difficult to find his picture right now leads me to think that he doesn't necessarily look like a white guy, and the fact that his motivation was so quickly figured out, oh, this family was run over because they looked Muslim, which is a big fucking red flag, okay? Like, if this dude, okay, let's just say he was premeditating this. Let's just say he was going out for a drive and he was going to bag him a Muslim family. And all he was going on was looks? Wouldn't you have a specific target in mind? And you know, Muslims come in all shapes and sizes, so why would you go for I don't know. All of this seems a little bit fucking squirrely. But yeah, let's get back to what Jagmeet Singh was saying, and then we're going to get to his sloppy party bottom after this. It is again unimaginable that the act of killing an entire family, the way that this now hate crime is rocking our country. Pretty much everybody's kind of forgot about it, except for the mainstream media, because, we get to dip our feet into the white supremacy pool. Isn't it fun? Most people don't care. I've reached out to the Muslim community members, and they sobbed hearing the news because they're so weak and you have to look after them, right? Thinking about their own family members, they go for walks in the neighborhood. Wow, they're almost like real people, right, Jagmeet? Fucking racist. Singh called out radicalization from the extreme right. In Canada? Where? Literally, I live in a really rednecky neighborhood, and I couldn't find any extreme right-wingers even if I tried. Hate groups and white supremacists being called the real and urgent threat to safety right now in Canada. See how unoriginal Canadians are? They can't even think of their own real urgent threat. I'd say China, but you know what? Hey, I'm probably supremacist hate group of the extreme right? Something like that. To just think about the chilling and heartless and vicious killing of an entire family by an act of hate like that really shakes everyone's sense of safety and security. As we've said for a long time, that radicalization from the extreme right, hate groups, white supremacists are the real and urgent threat to safety right now in Canada. No, I'd say you trying to squeeze out all of our rights is much more of a dangerous threat because one nut job in a fucking city plowing through a family, which I don't want to sound flippant about. Not at all. Those people didn't deserve to die. And the circumstances around this are being covered up by the overarching narrative that idiots are trying to pull. Like Jagmeet Singh. Like stupid Justin Trudeau. He says that there's a difference between freedom of expression and freedom to hate. and then goes on to describe freedom to hate as something that he hates because he's not very smart. He's just like Barack Obama. Just does blackface a hell of a lot more often. He's good off a teleprompter, but off the top of his head, yeah, it's still old pot fumes and dress-up turbans that are overheating his bitchy coif. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau broke down the difference between freedom of expression and freedom of hate, saying that the former is cherished and protected idea in Canada. Oh, really? And that the latter permitted incitement to violence. No, okay. So there's a distinction in freedom of speech. You're not allowed to incite anything. I'm just going to go ahead and clear this up for the guy who's apparently the most important Canadian out there right now. Boy. You're not allowed to incite anybody. That's a crime, Justin. You can hate things, okay? Like, for one, I hate you. Am I going to get thrown in jail for that? That would be fun. I have some hate that I'd like to work out. Am I going to actively act on it? No, because there's laws against that. Because I have this thing called morals where I wouldn't lash out irrationally. But no, you guys think that everybody's just this wild animal that needs to be tamed by Big Daddy government. Otherwise that the Ooga Boogas, they just run wild without the guiding hand of the government. I hate them all so much. The comments came during a Tuesday press conference after the Prime Minister was asked about the balancing act between weeding out hate and the ability to speak one's mind. The only thing that you should be concerned about is allowing people to speak one's mind. That's in your purview. Criminalizing speech is once again one of those slippery slope things because, today, you're not allowed to speak out against this group. Then it's this group. And then it's this group. And then eventually, all you're allowed to do is just praise the dear leader. And then you must cry in his presence. I would too, but you know what? I'm kind of sensitive to hair product wafts. The defense of freedom of expression in our charter, and it's fundamental to this government and our country. That's why you shut down a debate on Bill C-10. That's why freedom of expression is important to you, okay? That people need to be able to express themselves, unless they don't agree with you. There needs to be freedom of conscience and religion. Unless you want to go to church right now and then your pastor gets thrown in jail because you and like 10 of your friends want to go to church on Sunday. And conscious, I don't even know what that means, but apparently you guys just want to be patrolling what people's thoughts are. That's cool. There isn't, however, freedom to hate. There really is, though. Hate speech is not allowed in Canada. Oh, really sounds like you hate speech, so you're kind of guilty of your own premise there, Justin. The line that every government needs to walk between, of course, protecting freedom of expression but not permitting incitement to hatred, that's why there's laws on the books, is one that is continual as a battle, as a reflection. Shut up. And the technologies change and the means of communication change. We need to keep up with that. Just once again trying to loop in the fact that people can say mean words on the internet, those things that can't hurt you if you just turn off your device. Those things right there, those are all hate. And if they won't be hate in the first round of laws, they will be eventually. What is important is to ensure that, yes, there is always freedom to criticize. That's not what you want. That's not what you and Stephen Gibault want. You guys just want to get rid of any sort of political dissent online. That's the entire basis of Bill C-10. That's what you guys want in there. Freedom to challenge one's government, you don't want that. Freedom to express one's opinion, you certainly don't want that, especially from any sort of oppositional force. But not freedom to push intolerance and hatred against fellow Canadians. Whatever, let's finish this. Or discrimination against people who are different. Okay, here, listen, pal. I'll be honest with you. There aren't any groups, there aren't any people, really, that piss me off. I might be a little bit hyperbolic from time to time. I don't hate Justin Trudeau. I just think that he's mind-numbingly stupid. I think that he might be a touch malevolent, maybe even bordering on evil. But at the same time, I don't really pay him that much of my attention or any sort of my mind that would really invest any hatred in him. That's about as close as it gets, really, for anybody out there, but I don't hate anybody. I'm not intolerant towards anybody else. If you're shitty to me, I'll treat you shitty and kind. I think that that's just fair. And I don't discriminate people or against people unless they do something worthy of discrimination. And that's always a 1-for-1 tally, okay? That's always a personal interaction. Now, just because I think of myself as somebody who conducts themselves that way, I would not run afoul of any of these laws or any of these ideas that Justin Trudeau is putting forth. And just because I wouldn't be guilty of them, I would not want them to be criminalized, okay? I want those bad ideas out there. I want those idiotic people. I want those proverbial crackers in the hills that are out there, and some of those foreign places like northern Manitoba and northern Saskatchewan. Oh my God, where they just harbor white supremacist values and ideas. They don't, but we're just going to use them as a substitute for where these people could be. I don't know where they are, nor do I really care. There's not much you can do with just words, really. And the specific words that you can't say, at least when it comes to government documents that allegedly guide the governance of a country, those are made illegal. There are specific tests that words and speeches need to pass in order to be called incitement. Some countries are unfortunate enough to have hate speech laws. I think that those are a basic infringement, and one that should be fought against at every single available avenue, wherever you legally can. Because there's no point in addressing something that, is reality as something that you perceive to be unjust. It's like some people will be saying, the United States Constitution, the second amendment it shall not be infringed, therefore there's no justification for any of the gun laws that are out there. Yeah, okay, you try to go buy a gun without passing a background check because you think, my infringement is there. Listen, I'm on your side with this one. I don't want any background checks. I would love for everybody to be able to just go out there and purchase stuff that they want without any background checks, without any documentation. I think it would be wonderful. An armed society is, of course, a polite society, and that's how we should be conducting ourselves. But the people who are in charge see those little black murder sticks, and they think that, that's just something we can get in on. That's why the creep always starts with, taxation, that's regulation, and then eventually it's confiscation. Let's just fucking get to the root of that. And that's what they're trying to do, at least up here in Canada, with free speech, or whatever our understanding of it is right now. Right now, right now it's just hate speech. Very vile words that you can't say. And then eventually, it'll be whatever the other new group du jour is. It'll start with race, then it'll move to sexuality, and then it'll be dissenting opinion of the governing class. I see the slippery slope coming. And if Trudeau and Singh are at the top of that slide, it's somewhere I don't want to be anywhere near. Unless I can put that Christmas vacation varnish on it and then just watch them fire across the playground. That'd be fun as fuck to see. Anyways, guys, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.